Sup everybody, it's your boy Corey, KGQ Saint, back from the reaction video. This is another review trailer. This is Street Fighter 6 IGN review. So once again, some company, channels, especially, any type of company early access to the game. So Street Fighter 6, from what I've seen, it looks pretty cool. A lot, especially some of the trailers, also videos I watched from other, for early demos and stuff when I seen from a YouTuber. So I said go ahead. So I made my decision go and get it when I get the chance. But other than that, let's go on see their review. See their personal review, 15-minute long video. That's one start, you guys. You are no special request. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you're at too. Let's get it.
Remember when Street Fighter V came out and a lot of people
I'm just proud of Ryu is finally got wearing some sandals or shoes or something. He always be barefooted. Looks cool with that beard though.
18-character roster of both new and returning fighters, rendered in a killer new art style, an incredibly ambitious online battle hub that puts all other fighting game lobbies to shame, and just about everything you could ever ask for when it comes to training tools and systems to help you get better at the genre.
I'm still trying to use the Kim new look.
Feature-rich fighting game. Street Fighter 6 takes many swings in many different directions.
It looks cool, but yeah, it's just it's just a big change how she look.
Are absolute knockouts. The gameplay of every Street Fighter game since Street Fighter 2 can generally be defined by a unique mechanic. Street Fighter 3 had parries, 4 had focus attacks, 5 had the V system, and now Street Fighter 6 has the drive system. And for my money, it's the best the series has ever seen. Every character gains
I still like Street Fighter 2 better than Street Fighter 3. I don't know why me and my relatives, we liked it, but we always prefer 2 better than 3.
Drive rush, drive parry, drive reversals, and drive impact. Overdrives are essentially the new EX special moves and cost 2 bars. Drive Rush allows you to quickly close the distance between you and your opponent at the cost of 1 bar, or cancel out specific normal attacks at the cost of 3 bars. Drive Reversals allows you to get an opponent off of you while you're blocking their attack at the cost of 2 bars. And Drive Impacts, well, we'll get to those in a bit. I love this system for a lot of reasons, but chief among them is that it opens up so many options, and at the start of every round, you have a full meter and have
personally, I still like it. My first look is favorite look at his Street Fighter. I'm gonna say 5. 5 is my favorite look. His attire, the way he looks
right
in
out of
that.
the gate to put on pressure. I could save my meter for overdrive special moves to increase the damage of my combos, or I could fish for a crouching medium kick and then drive rush cancel it to convert big damage off of a single poke. Those are just a few of the options, and managing them makes the already extremely cerebral fighting of Street Fighter 6 even more enjoyable. The way it's handled when you run out of drive meter is also
did when he just
your character
did that palm multiple. I forgot the name of when he did palm straight, multiple palm straight. They show that in the Family Guy episode once when Peter versus Mr. Wishy-Washy.
Drive impacts are even scarier than before. And I swear, we'll get to drive impacts in just a bit. Being in Burnout is a terrible position, but it's far from an unwinnable situation. You still move at the same speed, your attacks do the same damage, you still have access to all of your super moves, and while your opponent's drive impacts are a huge threat, you know that they'll be looking to do them, which can lead to some interesting mind games on both sides. Some of the most tense and fun matches I've had in Street Fighter 6 have been when I managed to pull out a victory even while in Burnout. Now, let's talk about Drive Impact, because I have a feeling that for a lot of people, whether or not they enjoy Street Fighter 6 is largely going to come down to their feelings on this one move. Drive Impact only costs 1 bar of drive meter to use. It has super armor that can absorb up to 2 hits, and if it hits while your opponent is in the middle of their own attack, they will be knocked into a crumpled state, giving you a full combo. And that's not all. Even if they block it, they get blown back and lose half a bar of drive meter. And if they get backed into the corner,
I get the mean person that actually like DJ, to be honest.
That's not all either. Remember how I said that it's even more scary when you're in Burnout? Well, if you block a drive impact and you're close to the wall, you get stunned, and you'll eat a full combo in the corner.
Whatever, make him a live-action Street Fighter movie. We've seen the series Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed was good, but the movie that came out nice with Jean-Claude Van Damme as guy on everything. That was one of the most horrible video game-based movies I ever seen. That and the older live-action Super Mario Bros. That was terrible.
All you have to do
and
is
after we played Mario around that time, I can say that's the worst movie he ever did.
With yours, and now the roles have been reversed so that you get the opportunity.
And what else? Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Countering drive impacts is just so incredibly satisfying, especially when it's the key to you turning the tables around and winning a tight round.
Hado Shoryuken. Oh, I'm about to say Hado Shoryuken. New Warrior. New World Warriors.
Street Fighter VI's roster of 18 characters is mostly familiar, with 12 returning characters and 6 being entirely new. But even the returning characters feel fresh thanks to new
Jury
quirks added to their
definitely
movesets.
definitely got popular since her debut.
Now changes up the properties of several of his special moves when he uses them out of it, giving them EX-like properties without having to spend drive meter on them.
I'm thinking she's going to be strictly neutral
and give them V-trigger-like qualities. And DJ has a ton of new feints that make him an extremely tricky character to use and play against. The New Blood, meanwhile, are some of the best additions Street Fighter has seen. Kimberly is a clear standout, with a ninja-inspired moveset that has her closing the distance with quick teleports, pile driving you into the ground with Izuna drop-like air throws, and mixing you up with tricky leaps from half a screen away. Jamie, meanwhile, is a drunken melee powerhouse who is able to buff himself by taking swigs of his flask. And once he takes 4 drinks, pretty much all of his moves become extremely dangerous, with multi-hitting attacks that left me totally clueless on when it was actually my turn to fight back, forcing me basically to lab against him in training mode. Pretty much every Street Fighter character archetype has representation here. You've got your grapplers in Zangief and Manon, your rushdown fighters in Ken, Jamie, and Cammy, your zoners with Guile, Dhalsim, and JP, and your powerhouse bruisers in Marissa and Honda. It's everything I want out of a roster. World Tour is an ambitious single-player mode, and while it is a big step up,
the World Tour looks great when I first saw it.
Story mode and anything else Street Fighter has done before, it's certainly the weakest part of Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, it challenge people to a fight. That's dope.
It's a surprisingly enormous RPG that allows you to take a created character into the world of Street Fighter, interacting with the playable roster by becoming their disciple and learning their moves, and then building them up from scratch by leveling up, equipping various types of stat-altering gear, and selecting powerful skills. It also does a good job of teaching new players the fundamentals of Street Fighter 6 by including lessons as side quests, with steadily increasing difficulty over the course of about 20 hours. However, RPGs live and die by their stories, and the story of World Tour is unbelievably dull. With paper-thin characters, predictable plot twists, and a mute protagonist whose main purpose is just to be an errand boy for various gangs and factions, there's nothing to get excited about. It feels like it was written with the primary purpose of having your character jump around to various countries to meet the roster characters, and yet it never really bothers to justify those trips. In one chapter, a random gangster all of a sudden tells me that I need to get her bag back that my buddy stole. And so, without any objection, the most reasonable solution is for me to make a global trip to Rome in order to fashion a counterfeit bag that I can hopefully use to fool the gangster into thinking I got her bag.
Yeah.
In another chapter, I had to go to Jamaica and Brazil because my original mentor, Luke, wanted souvenirs from those places and I guess just doesn't know how to shop online. At least the tone is goofy and fun, which is a great fit for Street Fighter. You can fight just about anyone on the street, regardless of whether they deserve a rising uppercut to the face or not. It's fun to use ridiculous
I saw that.
Like
I was laughing when I first saw that.
Like your human helicopter. And there's a surprising amount of enemy variety, many of which do an admirable job of teaching newer players how to deal with specific situations that will come up outside of story mode. Some enemies will favor blocking high, making them vulnerable to low attacks. Others will stay permanently in the air and must be brought down by anti-air techniques. And others still will try to hang back and pepper you with projectiles, forcing you to fight them like you would a zoner.
That old lady.
And then you also fight refrigerators and Roombas. It's weird, but in a very amusing
Yakuza-esque sausage that came out of the refrigerator.
There's also a variety of fun mini-games that do a great job of gamifying techniques that you would actually use in a typical fight.
I miss breaking stuff.
You have to chop bottles by holding back for a second and then quickly moving the stick in the opposite direction and pressing a button, which is how you would perform charge-type special moves on a character like Guile or Blanca. Another has you making pizza by
broke.
quickly performing special move inputs as they appear on screen. And another still has you using your combos to quickly destroy a big rig in a nod to the original car busting minigame.
I just did like 2 inches of concrete because I was still recovering from somewhere. I'm gonna say close injury.
The carrot at the end of the stick
still broken. Breaking concrete is like breaking a board, just the impact feels different. You just got, as long as you follow through, and just don't stop. As soon as you hit something, just gotta follow through.
And then use
do the same way like you breaking a board.
Right back up in their face. Being able to customize my character in ways that would make them absolutely broken in the real game is a lot of fun. The issue is that it takes forever to level up a character's style to the point where you learn new moves from them. You do this simply by using
I don't know what this reminds me of.
I only used Luke's and Ken's throughout the entire mode, I still didn't
max
out either of them. Those who love a good grind may enjoy having plenty left over to unlock after the 20 or so hours it takes to complete World Tour, but I would have liked the drip feed of new unlocks to be substantially faster, considering the sheer amount of rewards that there are to unlock by maxing out the ranks of each character. I have many more issues with World Tour, but even despite them, I still had a fun time with it by the end. It's a mode that's more directly aimed
some
towards
person wearing a box over their head. I don't know what that. Seeing that always kind of remind me of the shuffle bot from LMFAO, the group who made that Party Rock Anthem song.
Incentivizes fundamental lessons of how
also
to
made that shot.
them up as side missions and mini games.
I don't want to get too involved,
and there's just an overwhelming
copyright. I don't
want to
get into that.
With 2 very large open worlds to explore, both of which have day and nighttime versions that each have their own set of side missions.
You made your character that skinny? Blanka. Always like Blanka.
Another reason why you might want to go through World Tour mode is that you're able to take your character and all the gear that they've earned into the online Battle Hub, which is an online social space where you could queue into both ranked and unranked matchmaking, or pull up a cabinet much like you would in a local arcade and await challengers. Online lobbies are not a new thing in the world of fighting games, and truthfully, I've never been the biggest fan of them. But Street Fighter 6's implementation of the Battle Hub has won me over. For one, it's super cool to look at because Street Fighter 6's character creator is absolutely wild, and gives you the freedom to make beautiful creations with finely tuned features, or unspeakable monsters with out-of-this-world bodily proportions. And it's fun to just wander around the hub and see what people come up with.
That's what you want, but still, I won't be able to concentrate.
And playing with either friends or random players. There's a section of the hub where you can play a rotating selection of classic Capcom arcade games like Final Fight and Street Fighter 2. Another section where you can play extreme battles with party-like rules and gimmicks. A store where you can purchase more customizable clothes for your avatar with in-game currency. And you can even pit your created character against others in avatar battles. But the most important thing about Battle Hub is that it's all optional. If you don't want to deal with it, you don't have to. You can simply queue up for ranked or casual matches via a menu, go into training mode while you wait, or create a custom room for multiple friends without ever having to go through the Battle Hub, which is exactly how it should be.
Ryu's always been my favorite character in Street Fighter.
Is how it completely nails virtually everything outside of its main modes that you could ask for in a fighting game. Based on my experience playing pre-launch and in all 3 betas, including the open beta, its netcode is excellent.
My brother's always been keen.
I've ever seen in a fighting game, complete with frame data, cancel window data, and a ton of other useful things. It's got extremely helpful character guides that make it very easy to learn a new character from scratch. Combo trials that teach you practical combos for a variety of situations. Load times are extremely quick and rematches are nearly instantaneous. You can search for replays with a ton of different filters to help you learn matchups. There's crossplay across Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. There's frame data when you're spectating. You can create and join clubs, and the list just goes on and on. Many fighting games also have these features, but very few have all of them, and especially not right out of the gate. Street Fighter 6 also deserves credit for really making an effort on welcoming newcomers in innovative ways. On top of World Tour mode, there's also a new modern control scheme that allows you to play without having to worry about character-specific command inputs or combo routes. Special moves are mapped to a button and a direction, much like Smash Brothers. There's one button each for light, medium, and heavy attacks. You can execute combos by holding down an assist button and mashing one of the 3 attack buttons, and you can use super moves just by pressing 2 buttons at the same time. The playing field is kept even by the fact that those using modern controls don't have access to a character's full repertoire of normal moves. but being able to perform special moves with just the press of a button is a trade-off that makes the modern control style appealing even for those who aren't beginners. And for those who just want to hold forward and mash on one button to execute special moves and combos, there's also a new dynamic control scheme that's only usable offline and essentially lets the AI choose the attacks for you. Capcom's really just covered all their bases here.
Okay, what's the verdict?
Street Fighter games are always benchmark moments for the 2D fighting game genre, but Street Fighter 6 feels extra special. The drive system is an incredible addition to the fighting mechanics that gives you a veritable Swiss Army knife of options and meter management decisions right from the start of every round. The starting roster is the best that Street Fighter has ever seen. Its online netcode through 3 betas has been impeccable so far, and the number of smaller details that it nails right out of the gate is unprecedented. It's so good that even the poor story and extremely slow progression of the single-player World Tour amounts to only a jab's worth of damage on its metaphorical.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot more downloadable content, DLC. That's going to help it out a lot.
Street Fighter 6 is a must-play.
Okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued.
For more Street Fighter 6, check out the first minutes of the game. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
Okay. Just getting that tongue tied. Just already said reuse. I'm definitely learning reuse mode moves if I do single. Story trailer. A story mode. Okay, pretty cool video. I like it. So once again, I agree to very, like I said, with some stuff that still might be lacking. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get some extra DLCs that's gonna come in, help out most of the characters, and also pretty sure levels as well. Maybe extra DLC to a story as well too. Anyway, let me know what you think of the video. You guys agree or disagree with the verdict? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Have a fantastic day or evening. Peace.